A 14-10 game here. You think back over the years, countless legendary moments, legendary games, including some that you coached in, like in '09 when you were on Pete Carroll's staff, Yogi. What was your record here?
3-1. Lost the first one to Texas, and then won the next three: Michigan, Illinois, and that one against Joe Paterno and Penn State.
Wow.
So many stories from this place. I mean, you walk in here, you're so humbled, right? Keith Jackson, this is the Kirk Herbstreit booth. You get to stand. I think it's one of the greatest perches in all of sport. What an honor, man.
The penalty enforced on the kickoff, so that goes well out of the back of the end zone. And let's go back to Ashley Adamson with a studio update.
Guy, they are going to be celebrating deep into the night in Eugene. Final seconds of Ohio State, Oregon. The Buckeyes down 1. Will Howard nowhere to go. That is how this thing ends. The Ducks win it 32-31. Oregon's highest ranked regular season win in school history.
Wow. How about that?
Oh, we'll be watching that one late tonight. All the highlights afterwards with Dave and Ash and company.
Jalen Berger. I mean, you think about Oregon. They've played some classic games on this field. Ohio State, right? I mean, it's amazing. The stadium was built in '22. The first Rose Bowl game here with the Big Ten team was in 1923. Big Ten teams have been coming to Pasadena before it was in this stadium. The Tournament of Roses back to 1901, 1902. So the point, Yogi, is these matchups feel new, but they're also in the fabric of the history of the sport. Second down.
And Tony Washington Jr., the defensive line coach at UCLA, he had a fumble recovery for a touchdown against Florida State in the Rose Bowl here. As you look at some of the numbers, Rick Neuheisel just saw him at halftime. He's here as Rose Bowl MVP. 102 years old. Got it. If we could vote, this would be the place for the national championship game every single year. It is majestic, and it is alive right now. Minnesota fans on a third down are on their feet.
They haven't been here since 1962. Third down and 7 for Garbers. Pressure from Lindenberg. He gets it away, and that is a first down. Mokiao Atimalala with a big catch. How did Garbers get this away from Lindenberg?
Atimalala, I want you to come back to the ball. You've got to do that. This is a guy they have sorely missed. And the pressure again. Minnesota dials it up. Garber stands strong in the pocket. Knows he's going to get hit. That's fifth-year senior on fifth-year senior. Win UCLA.
Back to Berger. And he gets maybe a yard down on the field to Rent.
Guys, third time we've seen Jack Henderson, who's kind of that big nickel for Minnesota, line up in that edge spot and then run a little bit of a game like he was a defensive end back into the inside. He got close in the first half. Then we saw him get home here in the second half. That third time, though, UCLA is starting to adjust, saw it a lot better, allowed Garbers to get that out.
Yeah, keep an eye on him. Did play a lot a week ago against SC, but due to the style of UCLA, Rent, he's going to be on the field. Coming from depth, lining up outside. You see him at the nickel position over the slot right now, Logan Loya.
Garbers pumps. And he throws near a first down to Mataval, right at midfield. It's going to be very short to the line again.
Look, if UCLA can get a first down here, right? What did Deshaun Foster tell Red at halftime? We need to stay ahead of the sticks. Early success on first and second down allows you to do that for this UCLA Bruin team.
Minnesota player down, and so we'll step aside here at the Rose Bowl. Football on the Big Ten Network is sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance, Simple Human Sense, and by Jared. See how luxury is getting personal this holiday only at Jared. The last time Minnesota was here, 1962, the Rose Bowl. A big third down, and UCLA picks it up with Jalen Berger. Minnesota was here in 1961 and 1962, and you thought, we go to the Rose Bowl every year. And this is their first time back.
I know they are excited about that. I know Rhett is excited about these adjustments. Rhett, I'm curious from your lens down on the field, what have you seen thus far in the third quarter?
Yogi, so far, I mean, I think this is playing right into Corey Heatherman's hands. He wanted to make UCLA one-dimensional. Obviously, they pick up the third on that short run there, but they have taken the run game element essentially out of it with what they've done up front, although it looks like we got a nice little play to stay ahead of the sticks here, bringing up a second in medium, but that has allowed that pressure that Minnesota has brought on Ethan Garbers, and if they can continue to stay ahead of the sticks here and gain some traction on the ground, I think that's going to force another adjustment here from Minnesota's defense.
Yeah, this Minnesota defense is trying to bring a lot of pressure. How does UCLA counter it? They're going to counter it right here with an extra offensive lineman. They've had success running to the left in the last 2 drives.
This has been Jalen Berger's drive as the running back for the Bruins. Gets it again. And this time he gets dragged down by Danny Strigo.
You know, Eric Bieniemy, right, he has really brought a lot of elements to this offense. I know you spent time with Maurice Jones-Drew, who played for him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you know, he remembers that the preparation that Eric Bieniemy helps his players with is what keyed his evolution from a true freshman. But wasn't getting the ball a ton to a guy who ended up being a second-round draft pick. Get into that here a little bit as well. But he always has those guys prepared for every play with every defense they're going to face.
Third and short. Garbers gets sacked. John Joyner. He was disruptive last week, and he comes through on a big third down.
I'll tell you what, I thought they had an opportunity here for some sort of adjustment. The pressure comes to Garber's right, and Mataval runs right into Devin Williams. Keep an eye where the pressure comes from. There's Mataval. To me, he could just stop right in that area, guy, and all of a sudden it's a conversion. Wonder if there was a hot route opportunity for the tight end and quarterback. These guys are always on the same page. He ran right into coverage.
So now Parrish back deep. As Richter sends it away. That hits a UCLA player. Parrish knows he can go pick it up for free. He tries to do it, but UCLA recovers it. And Minnesota's offense coming back out. Next Saturday, don't miss Big Ten football when Wisconsin clashes with Northwestern. Coverage begins with Big Ten Tailgate next Saturday, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Tonight's trivia question is sponsored by T-Mobile. Who were the head coaches in Minnesota and UCLA's last meeting in 1978? Keep in mind that game was played at the LA Coliseum. Not that that affects the trivia question, but you might be wondering, wait, I thought you said 62. So we go back.
Definitely a guy that this place truly adores for UCLA.
After the punt, Brosmer, long throw, Daniel Jackson. He caught it. What a catch.
Oh my God, he's just a highlight reel, man. I thought they were going to possibly call a PI there. And this has been a battle all game long. Brosmer strong in the pocket, deals, DB all over him.
For an injured player.
9v9 has just been a blast. And look at that catch. You always teach a guy a front shoulder roll on a catch like that. See how he goes over that left shoulder? That's so the ball can roll on top of you. Beautiful job. That's a route that's really become popular in the NFL over the last couple of seasons. Instead of coming back to the sideline, you push with that left foot out to the sideline. Really challenging for the DB.
Oluwafemi Oladejo is down on the field for UCLA. And as he pops up, this is no surprise with Daniel Jackson.
I mean, every time you throw it up, you got a shot. This is in 2022. Oh yeah, no problem. That's a beautiful grab right there on the sideline. I love how he tracks it with his eyes. This one in 23. How about his feet? His hand-eye coordination is just simply special. And then, of course,
Catch of the year candidate from that Michigan game.
Yeah, that was pretty special. And this one as well. Again, just the front shoulder roll, like the little detail at wide receiver is so critical. It separates special ones from guys who can just make routine plays. He's a special one.
So Oladejo able to walk off. That's great news for UCLA, but he's not on the field here for first down. Taylor picks up the pressure. Schlesinger now in pursuit, and Brosmer tosses it into the sideline.
Adjustments, 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 man. I mean, I just think this game with Greg Harbaugh, the offensive coordinator, it's an NFL mind. It's very intricate offense for Minnesota. Constantly challenging a defense, and Akaika Malloy, the defensive coordinator for UCLA in his first season as the coordinator, you go back to his tree and what he learned a year ago from Danton Lynn, who's now at USC across town. We're seeing so many subtle adjustments right now for the Bruins. 4 down linemen. Where are they bringing pressure from depth? What coverage are they going to?
Play action. Throwback. Taylor. And he gets up the sideline, and he's got a first down. They ran that play effectively last week. It was something you mentioned. They love watching NFL film on this Minnesota staff. This is from Sean McVay and the Rams.
Yeah, and this is a nice job of an adjustment from UCLA defensively, anticipating that screen, but a better job by this offensive line getting out and blocking it. Ramon Henderson looked like he was going to play that 2-deep safety look on the snap. He comes down to fill and run, but he meets this offensive line, and when you meet Ariante Ursary, that is big advantage for that man sprint to the other side of the field as we head to the 4th.
This is Big Ten football here at the Rose Bowl. UCLA looking for its first Big Ten win. Minnesota wants to win in the stadium for the first time since '62.
All right, Coach, you said that was one of the worst first halves you guys have played this season. How about the response in the third quarter from your offense?
That's what the team's done all year. I mean, they're a gritty group. They're a tough group. It's a 60-minute football game for a reason. They're young people. It's like riding a roller coaster at times. But they're resilient, but you've still got a lot of football left to play here.
Coach, thank you.
You bet.
That was moments ago during the light show between the third and the fourth quarter. So fourth quarter now with Minnesota. First down and 10. Marcus Major gets about 2 yards. This has been where Minnesota has really gotten it going. Michigan 2 weeks ago, they nearly came back and won in the fourth quarter. And last week it's where they beat USC.
Yeah, I mean, look at what they've done, to your point. And a big mantra for that man right there is start fast, accelerate in the middle, and finish strong. This game is going to be about finish for this team, much like the Michigan game was, USC a week ago. Looks like we are in for, as he referenced, another roller coaster here at the Rose Bowl.
Brosmer hit as he pulls the ball up to throw. How he held on to the football is a miracle, because Schlesinger was right in his chest.
They run a unique motion right there that they haven't done all season long. And they got UCLA, but they don't have the protection. And that man, the former walk-on, is untouched. Again, I go to the scheme of Akaika Malloy. He said, we want to make sure we cover up their offensive linemen so our linebackers can run through. He did it on the first drive of the game. He just did it on that play on a second down.
So now it's 3rd and 17. 3-man rush. Brosmer, Jackson caught. He's going to be about 7 yards shy of a first down, just across the Minnesota 40.
I mean, this guy is awesome, bro. I mean, watch this catch. Are you kidding me? The strength of his hands. Kane Madrano is all over this thing. I mean, look, it's advantage wide receiver, but it's a great grab. And now here comes UCLA, and to get the ball on a stop there. They got to find a way to match up, because as this game goes back and forth, Daniel Jackson is going to have a huge role in it down the stretch.
He has 8 catches. That's almost half of Brosmer's completions. A flag comes down, and Crawford hangs this up in the SoCal night, and Loya Fair catches it at about the 18-yard line, 41 yards on the punt. Let's see what the penalty is.
It's going to be on UCLA.
Oh, you want to tell us for what, too, while you're at
I think it's offsides.
Okay.
That's my initial gut.
Talking to PJ Fleck over there, UCLA has committed 90 yards of penalties tonight, Yogi. Oh, I think you're right. We saw the signal. 100, how about this? So far, pending this penalty, 150 yards of offense for Minnesota, 90 yards on top of that of penalties.
It's just so hard.
Offside. Receiving team number 21 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
I mean, some could go either way, I think, in this game. But overall, to your point, Guy, I mean, every week, staffs track. I call them sins, self-inflicted negatives. Right? That's what our good friend Chris Peterson calls them. Longtime head coach in college football, and you just can't hurt yourself. And UCLA, their margin for error is so small.
The ball was at the 17, the result. Minnesota decides to re-punt it. Because they think Crawford can pin UCLA deeper, and that's what he does. Fair catch at the 11. Tomorrow, women's volleyball comes your way when the Bruins square off with the Trojans in a rivalry showdown. Coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. The Final Drive recaps the entire day around the conference later tonight, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. The question is, will there be any highlights from the Mar Vista Lions flag football team?
That's right. Our team showed up. There's a couple of our guys.
You're the head coach.
Yeah, oh yeah, 1-0, but we got a great staff, okay? Marcus and Coach Mike, we do a nice job trying to get everybody involved, but big thanks to UCLA. Having a lot of players in youth football here in LA coming out to this game tonight.
After the Minnesota punt, 1st down and 10, and Ethan Garbers takes off and gets a 1st down for the Bruins.
Okay, adjustments, right? I mean, this game is one in the margins. I know Rhett is down there on the sideline watching it. We're watching it up here as well. And for UCLA, they want a really clear picture for Ethan Garbers as they get this drive moving backed up in their own territory. For Minnesota, I'd expect pressure. Try to continue to disrupt this offensive line. They've had success at times throughout this ball game. Can they get in the backfield again?
Back to the ground, Harden, and a big arm from Devin Easter. He's had a good game tonight. He's got a sack. He's got a deflection that led to a pick. And that'll bring up 2nd down and long. This UCLA team, they knew the football results from the last 4 weeks. They felt like they were better than, right? Their opponents were some of the best teams in the country. And tonight they had some momentum, especially in that 1st half. Minnesota scored 14 points in the 3rd quarter. Can UCLA get its offense moving again? Pressure again to set up the screen. Harden surrounded, gets away, and he's able to get about 8 yards where it looked like there was nothing, and now it's 3rd and short.
You know what's so fun about this game? Corey Heatherman, defensive coordinator of Minnesota, looks like it's man. They end up playing zone. See Garber's eyes, goes left to right, comes on back, setting up the screen, and then just the effort from Harden. I mean, every time they ran a screen tonight, you think he's bottled up, and no way. I mean, his athleticism is incredible. So here we go, Guy. 3rd down. I'm going to try to find a way to either get J. Michael Sturdivant isolated or Logan Loya. If it's zone coverage, go to Loya at the top of the screen. If it's man, find Sturdivant.
Garber's looking for Sturdivant, and he's got the 1st down.
When you put 2 players of their caliber on the same side, you're forcing the defense to make a decision. And they're declaring man zone real quick. Zone coverage, you can tell it with Henderson over Loya. The corner, Ethan Robinson, was at depth. It's an out route, it's a timing route. Garbers deals it for a 1st down.
Extra offensive lineman has come in for UCLA. On 1st down and 10. What do you make of that, Yogi? Bringing in a 6th offensive lineman on 1st and 10.
Well, I take one look at Eric Bieniemy and Sean Foster. Say they want to run the football. They brought him in a few times in this ballgame. Have not had a lot of success outside of when he was lined up as a fullback.
Tavake Tui Kolovatu. And you saw him jog off. Eric Bieniemy, a couple of Super Bowls, of course, with the Chiefs.
Got to imagine.
Offensive coordinator for the Commanders last year. Sorry, Yogi.
I was just saying, you got to imagine they have something coming off of that. I mean, are they setting that thing up later on in the ball game?
Garber's on the move. Garbers throws on the run to Loya. There's a lot of traffic on that play, and UCLA is able to make it work.
I mean, he almost runs into pressure. Jehate McMillan. He comes off the edge. You'll see it right there in the middle of the screen. 24 right there. Berger picks him up. Garbers climbs right inside of him and finds Loya.
Degree of difficulty was high on this one.
You think? Jeez, I'll tell you what, though. You keep watching that right ankle, that right foot of Ethan Garbers. He looks at full strength, pushing off that foot, climbing the pocket.
Back to Berger. I mean, the run by Garbers early on this drive was the longest rushing play for UCLA tonight, 10 yards. Right? This is a team that they throw the ball a ton. Now, part of that, you wonder, are the stats skewed? They play from behind a lot. Who are they really in a game like this?
I think also on the offensive line, right? Sam Yoon is making his second start right there. Number 64 in the middle of the screen, his second start of the season at center. They've reshuffled this offensive line all year long. I mean, they've had 4 different lineups. They played 6 games.
Newton Prongos, their left tackle, playing his 3rd position of the season this year. Just got a scholarship in camp. Garber steps up, pressure, Sturdivant, first down into Gophers territory. 6 straight completions for Garber.
Okay, what do you teach quarterbacks? Subtle movements in the pocket. Watch him. Over one, up one, bam. Look at that.
Wow.
A game of inches, man. I mean, it's literally. And that man, Devin Eastern, has had a night just a few inches away from that mitt that has batted down a ball, that has made TFLs. Garbers is confident, much like Max Brosmer. Regardless of play call, they feel as though they can decipher what the defense is doing.
Tui Kolovatu back into the game. 6 offensive linemen, plenty of time. Garbers, deep shot. Sturdivant! Touchdown, Bruins! The Rose Bowl is alive and well. He didn't get a target last week. He didn't play last week. And Garbers and Sturdivant connect. You wondered if UCLA could get off the mat after Minnesota looked like they were taking control in the 3rd quarter, Yogi.
Well, they sure did. Deep play action, no deep safety, an absolute dime to J. Michael Sturdivant. Watch his eyes, watch the catch, watch the crowd. So impressive in full speed. He knows he can get on the toes of the DB. He runs right past Ethan Robinson, perfectly thrown ball, absolute dime. Garbers knows it, and this place is alive.